Good evening, parents, guardians, friends, anyone who's here tonight. I apologize for not being able to be here on back to school night, parent night. I don't even know what we call it anymore. Um, my wife works a second job, and that means on Thursdays I'm home with my son, so I'm not able to be in attendance. But because of that, I wanted to make sure I introduced myself so you can put a face to your teacher's name and all of that kind of stuff. My name's Alex Polano. This is my 10th year here at Howard. I teach U.S. history, so if you have a junior, I'm teaching them in U.S. history. If you have a senior, I'm teaching them in a course called Contemporary Citizenship. So the first part of this video, I'm just going to briefly kind of go over the U.S. history course, and then I will go over the senior course. So for U.S. history, we start right around the beginning of the Civil War, a little bit before that. So we've really started around the year 1850, and our goal is to progress through history sort of as far up as today, if we can get that far. Generally, we don't, but we try our best to get as far into history as we can. Now, beyond just learning history, really what our ultimate goals are to kind of further those transferable skills that allow students to be successful, not just in social studies, but in whatever they choose to do otherwise. So that's writing, reading skills, speaking, good discourse, all of that kind of stuff in order to make them both stronger students and stronger people. So we do that in a number of ways, mainly by really focusing on in-depth, grade-appropriate reading, as well as in-depth, grade-appropriate writing. So a lot of times you'll see your student will be working on something, and it doesn't look like a particularly long assignment. Like the writing might only be 8 to 10 sentences. And in the beginning, our goal is to make sure that when they're writing, they're doing it with purpose, and they're really refining those skills. And the same thing with the reading. The reading might never be all that long, but it's going to be tough at times. It's going to be in depth. It's going to require them to really dissect text and really grow into stronger, better, more competent readers. And that's really our ultimate goal with that. So in our U.S. history course, we tend to spend a lot of time focusing on analysis. In the beginning of the year, it's a lot of me talking, kind of getting them into the flow of things. And then as we get going, it's really me teaching them how to build their own knowledge, which is really, really important. So we learn different strategies for document analysis, for reading, for writing, for annotating. And we work a lot of times hand in hand with the English department in trying to build those commonalities across both classes. Makes it a little bit easier for the students. Now, in terms of behavioral expectations and all of that's found in the syllabus. I try not to spend too much time talking about student behavior or any of that stuff, because very rarely do I find too many issues with that. I really wish I was there. We could talk a little bit more one-on-one, but I'm going to leave my contact information available. If you would like me to reach out to you personally, we can do that as well. I'll leave a sign-up sheet for you to look at. So for U.S. history, again, all of those things, there's some more specifics in the syllabus for you to take a look at if you want to. But if not, that's really all I'm going to say on this video about U.S. history. Now, for the parents of my seniors for contemporary citizenship, that course is very, very different. So that course is designed to sort of give students the tools to be more competent adults. We, or at least I, tend to teach it in a very specific way where I focus most of our time on personal finance. Like we go over basic decision making at the start of the year, and then we're going to go through banking and credit, how to buy a house, how to buy a car, insurance, all of those things that people often say, man, I really wish I learned this in high school. We do that. In order to fulfill the rest of the course, talking about law, talking about politics and modern issues, we tend to do that in what's called our current events section. So we do that CNN 10 every morning. We go over current events of the day, try to see where it fits into our discussions of law and politics and all of that. And every Friday we do a current event where we look at an issue around the world. So thus far we've looked at the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. We looked at El Salvador adopting Bitcoin as national currency. We looked at various things to try and get students to engage with the world around them. And that's what we do there. So the class is not meant to be incredibly rigorous. It's not meant to be difficult. It's meant to be a senior elective that gives students the skills necessary so when they leave high school, they're a little bit more confident in that financial aspect of being an adult, things that I weren't confident in when I started, my journey as an adult. So I find the students find it very useful. We do things that are very important. And the students, we tend to try to have a good time with it. Again, we're going to work on some of those other skills. We work on reading, we work on writing, but really what we work on are those personal finance, how to be a critical thinker, how to look at the news and determine if it's real or not, how to figure out what stories are important in the world. And that's really our ultimate goal here. So same with my juniors. Again, I apologize that I can't be there. My syllabus will be available to you. I'll have a sign-in sheet if you'd like to fill out stuff and leave me, and I can send you an email or a phone call if that's something that you need. And I'd like to come and take care of that with you. So again, hopefully we'll have a chance to communicate in the future, and then we can kind of go from there. So have a great night.